Hello guys, welcome to my channel today. Today we shall be looking at the topic mensuration. Mensuration of solid shapes. Alright, now the question is, what is mensuration? Mensuration simply means measurement. Mensuration simply means measurement. Now, so if you're looking at measurement of solid shapes. Now, what are solid shapes? Solid shapes are figures that are most likely in 3 dimensions. Okay? Examples are your cube, your cuboid, your prisms, etc. Okay? These are solid shapes. Your cones, your pyramids, all are examples of solid shape. Now, we'll be looking at what's a prism. How do we calculate the volume of a prism? Now, to calculate a prism, first off, a prism is a solid which has a uniform cross section. A prism is a solid shape that has a uniform cross section. Okay, now let's look at volume of prisms. How to calculate volumes of prism. Volume of prism. Now, to calculate your volume of prism, we will use the formula area of base times the height. Now, this height is the perpendicular height. Okay, now let's look at the various shapes and how to calculate their volumes. Now, for a cube we all know is a side is a figure with all sides equal. Alright? Now, a cube is formed from a square. Now, for volume of cube, we have it as L cube. That is length times length times length. Now, we have our length times our length. Now, since the 3 of them are all equal, since it's a cube, the whole lengths are equal. That's why we have it as length times length times length. Okay? Now, for surface area of cube, we are having it as 6L. Okay, 6L squared. Okay, now what's the surface area? This is our surface area. Okay, how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides, okay, of your L squared will give you your surface area of cube. Now let's look at a cuboid. Now, a cuboid is formed from a rectangle. A cuboid has a rectangular face. Okay, now this is a cuboid. Now, our area for cuboid is given, our volume for cuboid is giving us length times breadth times height. Okay, that's our volume for cuboid. And our surface area will be 2. Our surface area, let me write here, surface area equals to 2 brackets LB plus LH plus BH. Now, where L is your length, B is your breadth, and H is your height. Okay? Now, the next one we'll be looking at is our prism. Now, this is a triangular prism. This is a triangular prism. Now, for a triangular prism, like we said, to calculate the volume will become area of base. How do you calculate area of the base? Area of base times height. Now, for a triangular prism, this will become half base times height times our perpendicular height, h. Okay, here is our perpendicular height, h. So let's change this h to this. Okay, That's for a volume of our triangular prism. Now we talk about a cylinder. Okay, now for volume of cylinder, we are having it as pi r squared h. Now, pi r squared, we all know is the area of, formula for calculating area of a circle. So if we include our height, will give us volume. So in other words, we can actually be looking at volume as area times height. So we can say that volume equals to area times height. Okay, if we look at the area of our rectangle is length times breadth, so if we include the height, it will give us the volume. So volume can be said to be area times height. Now let's look at the curved surface area, CSA. Curved surface area of a cylinder will become 2 pi r h. Okay, now for the TSA, total surface area of a cylinder will give us 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r h squared. Now this will give us 2 pi r bracket h plus r. Okay, now that is the for the total surface area of a cylinder. All right, at this point we'll look at examples of how to calculate using these formulas we've written out. All right, example 1 says a car petrol tank is 0.8 meter long, 25 cm wide, and 20 cm deep. How many liters of petrol can it hold? Please, we would like you to subscribe, like, and click on the notification button for more updates. And if there be any comments or questions so far on what we've done, please put it down in the comments section. All right, now from here we can see we have 3 figures. We have our length, which is 0.8 meter, and we have our width, which is 25 cm, and we have our height or depth, which is 20 cm. Now these 3 figures are not having same units. This is in meters and this other 2 are in cm. So to convert meters to cm, we use 100 cm equals to 1 meter. So 0.8 meter cross multiply will become 100 times 0.8, which will give us 80 centimeter. So this can be 80 centimeter. So volume of tank, our volume of tank will now become 80 times 25 times 20, which will give us 40,000 centimeter cube. Alright, knowing that our volume of tank is 40,000 centimeter cube, we know that 1 liter equals to 1,000 cm cube. Alright, since they asked for how many liters can it hold, we need to convert 40,000 cm cube to liters. So our x liters will become 40,000 cm cube. Now cross multiply, this becomes x 1000x equals to 40,000. So x equals to 40,000 over 1000, which will now give us x equals to 40 liters. So the car can hold 40 liters of petrol. Please like, subscribe, and click on the notification button to get more updates. Now to our second question, it says calculate in terms of pi the total surface area of a cone of base diameter 12 cm and height 10 cm. Now let's look at the solution. Okay, let's have a diagrammatic representation of our cone. Okay, now they said the height is 10 cm, this is our height, 10, and the base diameter is 12. We know that the diameter is a line that passes through the center of the circle, touching both ends of the circumference. Now, and we know that a line from the center of the circle to any point on the circumference, which is the radius, is half the diameter. So this will be 6 and 6. 6 plus 6 will be 12, making the full diameter. Now let's bring out this triangle this way so that we can be able to calculate, since they're asking for the total surface area. This is 10 and this is 6. Okay, now we can now calculate for our x. Let me call that x, which is the slant height, x. Now, using Pythagoras theorem, Pythagoras rule, we say that our hypotenuse squared equals to the sum of opposite squared plus adjacent squared. Okay, now our hypotenuse squared in this case is our x, our opposite is our 10, and our adjacent is our 6. So now, applying that rule, we are having x squared equals to 10 squared plus 6 squared. So this will become 100 plus 36, which is 136. So x equals to square root of 136. That is our hypotenuse. Alright, now we know that to calculate total surface area of a cone, we are having our pi RL plus pi R squared. Okay, pi R squared is area of the circle and pi RL is area of the sides. Okay, so now since they say calculate in terms of pi, take note, in terms of pi simply means we are not going to put the value of pi, which is 22/7, in this calculation. So we can now separate this to simplify this to become pi r bracket L plus r. Okay, now what is our radius? We know that our radius is 6. This becomes 6 pi bracket our slant height, which is the x we found, will be root 136 plus our radius 6. Okay, so we can go ahead to simplify this term by finding the root of 136 and adding it to 6 and leaving it in terms of pi, or we can leave our answer in this form. We've come to the end of today's tutorial. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and click on your notification button to get more updates. If there be any question towards what we've done treated today, please put it in the comment section.